Hello, transformation and troubled times. I'm Rick Boiardi from Rick Boiardi World Builder, and I'm your transformation coach. Transformation and troubled times. So here we are, Western Massachusetts. We're taking a nice little hike through Mount Tom Reservation. There's a lot of people out here. See? There's some people right there. A lot of mosquitoes too. So I wanted to set the stage so that we can understand how we can achieve transformation in these unbelievably weird times we're in. And you know, it's for most people it's incredibly difficult right now. Everything that we think we knew has been called into question, and it's like somebody's put a pause button on our normal lives, and there's a door number 1 or 2, and door number 1 seems to be a health crisis on a global scale. And number 2 seems to be a health crisis on a global scale with a group of evil people promoting it for their own ends. Either way, very, very difficult to feel at peace right now. And it doesn't really matter which door you think you would open. Everybody's stressed, everybody's freaked. Everybody is completely afraid. And things have changed. Everything has a question mark around it. Economics, you know, a lot of people have a knee-jerk reaction to that and say, how can you care about economics at a time like this? Well, guess what? You know, for 6,000 years, we've been in a type of economy that requires people to borrow, create, and sell things at a profit and goods and services that people need. So when the system stops, everything we've done for countless generations stops as well. And without a solution beyond that, we're just sitting here waiting to see if we collapse or we're somehow able to start the engine back up. Or even better, will this teach enough people things about themselves so that they can go about changing the world for the better? And that's where this transformation comes into play. Spiritual beliefs. Everybody, even atheists, are questioning a deeper, more hidden reality behind this. And for many people, and it's not just the Christians with their end times, it's all the religions really, who think that there's a battle going on between the forces of light and the forces of evil. So people are not just settling in on their faith mostly and saying, well, I feel good, I'm not worried. I mean, some are. Some people see this as something that was meant to play out up until this exact time, and they feel good about it, actually. But I venture to say most people are not weathering this storm easily. So that's the stage. I wanted to set the stage, and not to bum everybody out, but just to point to the fact that something's happened here. And if you know me, and if you're watching this, you probably do. I believe that this whole thing was engineered going back decades, and it's just playing out now. But even if you don't believe any of that and you just think this is a health crisis gone wild, it's still going to be quite daunting. So that's the stage. We're at a standstill. There's a big pause button, got pushed by something. Is there anything we can do? You know, people are feeling kind of helpless right now because, you know, even if they're working, what are they working towards? Like, what world is going to be beyond this huge question mark that we're all sitting in right now? If you're not working, you know, you're trying to make sense of this. You're probably trying to be proactive, be positive, and yet we all have a lot of time to see what's going on, and by the hour, stuff keeps happening that people just can't make heads or tails out of. It makes no sense. So you know, we're all getting, we're confused. We're at each other's throats. Families are, you know, everybody's polarized. Families, friends, countrymen, Romans. Lend me your ears. But how do we transform? Can we transform? Yes, we can. This is an opportunity to understand your spirit, where you feel you fit into the universe and how you're part of it. And because we're being forced to slow down, I think people are starting to see, already looking back a few months ago and saying, my God, these things were so meaningful and they seemed commonplace back then. But they, you know, are they gone for good? What's going to happen? You know, hopefully, you know, will I ever get a chance to do that kind of thing again? I think with the thing with the spirit is, you have to keep active during this particular situation, and that is by, you know, if you're working or you have things already, well, that's good. I think when you're active and taking action, you start to make sense of things internally, and you listen to that inner voice, and you start to have that conversation. Some people coming by. There's an army of people here on this trail. Beautiful day, really nice. Hey, what's up? How you doing, man?
Good, you?
Good. So, on the spiritual side, you can really start to pay attention to your inner dialogue. Listen to that whisper, and don't be afraid to have that conversation. And I think it's a good thing, because right now everybody's so afraid that a lot of the conversation outwardly with other people, you know, if it's somebody that really knows you, you can kind of vent it out and both talk about it. But, you know, for the most part on social media, it's like a giant global family quarrel where, you know, a tornado's like bearing down on the house and everybody's like, shit, what do we do? You know, what is that? What caused it? You know what I'm saying? Maybe tornado's not the best metaphor, but I think you get what I'm saying. So I think the spiritual growth and transformation goes hand in hand with action and a bit of activism. Get some more people coming up here. Hey guys. So action is part of your transformation. It's key, in my opinion, because we're feeling such an overload of emotion. You got to do something. And all the things we used to hear before this pandemic, depending on who you are, it sounded kind of cliche to a lot of people, but they really, really matter. And it's simple stuff like I'm doing right now, just taking a walk in the forest and saying hi to somebody you don't even know. I mean, it's priceless. You feel connected to everything. Journaling is phenomenal. I'm actually, I have a coach for a business I'm building, and she turned me on to the act of journaling, which I hadn't done for a while. It really helps clarify and let me know that I'm on the right path and I know what I'm going to do step by step. People have more time right now, so there's no commute to work or something. Even if you're working, you're telecommuting. So you can use that time. Start to just pick a few things. Like I have a friend that's like super into painting right now, and she just shows her paintings on Facebook, and everybody has a good moment where they get to look at it and see what somebody's doing, and that's their way of coping and expressing. And the more people that do that, the more people feel connected on a positive note. Remember, we're a social species. We cannot survive without each other, emotionally, spiritually, physically, in any way. Communication, it's a big one in terms of transformation. We're all learning the power of our words to incite emotions in others, especially on social media. I will tell you quickly that I would post things and I'm like, hey, look at this. This is it. This is a thing. You need to know it. Well, everybody's afraid. So half the people, would be afraid with their version of what's going on, and everyone gets angry. No, F you. It's not that, it's this. This is teaching everybody the power of words and patience and how to measure what you say before you say it. Be mindful. Take a few deep breaths. I will tell you personally, one girl I've known my whole life pissed me off to no end on a thread, and I was so mad, but I waited the 48 hours. I used the 48-hour rule, and when I replied, I felt it was very reasonable. No hate. I didn't back down or anything like that, but it was a way more peaceful way of communicating than what I felt at the moment. Health. I'm gonna make these quick because I'm getting close to 15 minutes. I want to keep the video under that. Health. It's not about getting out there like Rocky IV training. It's more about mindful training, mindful movement, mindful exercise, like this walk in the woods. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I work out every day, but it's more about the integration of workouts now. I think, a lot of the layers of the onion are peeled back and people realize it's health. That's everything, and not so much how you look, how ripped you are that day. So anyway, we can all transform individually, and then that leads to global transformation. All right, I'm gonna bug out of this. Remember, start to recognize your fears, your emotional triggers, take action on them, listen to your inner voice. This is Rick Boiardi, World Builder, talking to you, sharing these with you. Share, like, subscribe. Hit me up for information. Take care, everybody. Peace and love.